I went to Disneyland, and it was the 70th celebration. First, I went to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, and I danced with Goofy. At night, I saw this parade. Everything was glowing. Sorcerer Mickey was there, and Lightning McQueen. Oh, then I went to this giant water show with all the Inside Out characters. And I was like, whoa. And then my parents were like, whoa. Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration with Paint the Night Parade, World of Color Happiness, and Bluey's Best Day Ever. Coming soon. Save with Good Neighbor Hotel packages starting at $164 per person per night on select days through March 31st, 2026. For a party of 4 adults, including 2-day, 1-park-per-day tickets and a 3-night stay at a select Good Neighbor Hotel in a deluxe room. Total price $1,960. Visit Disneyland.com/goodneighborhotels for details.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Grand opening at Acclaim at 99th Avenue in Thomas, where your Fulton home is more within reach than ever. This is modern living in the heart of the West Valley. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build. For 50 years.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Yes, it is. The lunch break right here. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today on the Thursday edition of the program. You can stream us via the free KDUS AM 1060 app. Or if you're so inclined, you can watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Producer Evan, how are you on a Thursday, my friend? Doing well?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Fired
Excited
up,
for
ready to
another
go?
Thursday edition of the program. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's and I say the word okay to answer that question. And I answered somebody in the building yesterday, walked by me and asked me how I was doing. And I said it the same way I just said to you, I'm doing okay. And then they were concerned about me. I said, no, I'm okay. I'm good. Okay kind of takes on this connotation of things are not good, things are not okay. But no, things are great, things are good. The Suns are back in action tonight. Second half of the season begins for the Phoenix Suns.
I'm with you. I don't know when okay became such a negative connotation.
When did okay become bad? No, I'm okay. Not every day's good, not every day's great. Yesterday was a good day. I was okay. I was fine in that moment when somebody asked me. We got shovels being put into dirt for the new Arizona Cardinals facility. That's going on as we speak. Mike LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett, a bunch of coaches, met with the media yesterday. We'll talk about that as well. We've got the first look at who the closers might be for the Arizona Diamondbacks when spring begins, and it shouldn't surprise you what that list might look like. We got a lot of fun for you here today on the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. But we'll start with the top story here in the Valley. The Phoenix Suns back in action tonight. It is the last road game here in the month of February. They'll then return home to finish the month on a 4-game homestand. But yesterday, the general manager of the team,
the alignment,
met with the media, and he set the table for the second half.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I'll tell you, When I sat down yesterday after the program to listen to Brian Gregory's media availability, a smile came across my face. I was actually looking forward to hearing from the GM of the team because he's not somebody we hear from on a regular basis, right? You listen to the coach, you hear the coach every day before the game, at practice, after the game, and you hear from the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Jordan Ott, pretty regularly. You hear from Jonathan Gannon, now Mike LaFleur, multiple times in the lead up to the game. You don't hear from Monty Ossenfort. You don't hear from Brian Gregory. And Brian Gregory's the one general manager here in town who is probably best positioned to take a victory lap. And I don't want to say that's what he did yesterday, but he got pretty close to it. He opened his media availability just with a couple of statements, and he praised the team. He praised the turnaround that they had, and he pointed out, hey, we told you in the summertime what we were going to do with this team. We told you in the summertime that the culture was going to change. The toughness was going to change. The grittiness was going to change. The unselfishness was going to change. And he said, can't argue with the results that we've got so far. But Brian Gregory did something very important yesterday. He set the table. And he set the table for a second half that is going to be very important for the Phoenix Suns. Because in the first half, they went under the radar. In the first half, they weren't talked about enough. In the first half, the national media was behind all of us in understanding what the Phoenix Suns were actually doing. Because they were a nice, fun story. They weren't as bad as everybody thought. But nobody in the national media caught on to, oh, this team's got staying power. This team actually can make some noise. They can be an annoyance, a pest in the Western Conference. I think everyone's starting to catch up to that point now. And so Brian Gregory set the table correctly yesterday because he said, this is all great. This is all good. But I keep reminding everybody, the players, the coaches, the people that I work with, in this sport, in this league, it can change that quickly. It can change on a dime. It can change in a moment's notice. And so you cannot rest on your past results. You cannot just ride the high of a 32-23 first half. You can't just rest on your laurels of being a team that exceeded every expectation in the first half. You almost have to double down here in the second half. And I think that's the message that Brian Gregory was trying to send yesterday. Hey, we've been great. We like a lot of what we've seen. This has gone about as well as it could have. We're not celebrating anything. We're not taking the full-blown victory lap because we know the work is not done. We've only played 55 games. We haven't played a full season. We haven't actually, if we can be honest with one another right now, the Phoenix Suns haven't accomplished anything. Right? The only thing the Phoenix Suns have accomplished this season is more in the abstract. It's more in the big picture of maybe slowly changing the narrative. But they don't have anything to hang their hat on. They're not playing a play-in tournament game tonight. They're not playing in a playoff series tonight. That hasn't happened yet. They've got 27 games to determine whether or not they're going to be in the play-in or in the full-blown playoffs. If they're just going to be a nice story that plays one or two play-in tournament games and one that actually plays in a playoff series, and to quote a buyer sell from earlier this week, has a chance to pull off an upset and win a first-round matchup. That's what the next 27 games are going to be about, and I think that's the thing that Brian Gregory wanted to emphasize yesterday. Work's not done. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of stuff to praise, but this team hasn't accomplished anything. They've changed a narrative, yes. They've been excellent. They've been fun to root for. But no one is going to remember a 32-23 start if over the next 27 games, you play your way out of the play-in tournament. You play your way out of being a top 6 seed. You play your way out of actually making it into the playoffs and getting that first-round series. No one's going to remember this. So that's why I say you haven't accomplished anything. So I thought Brian Gregory did a really nice job yesterday of kind of resetting the table. And he said a lot of stuff. Talked about, the young players, talked about Jalen Green, who we'll talk about a little bit later on here in the program, and how they keep Jalen Green healthy in the second half. He, of course, was asked about Kaman Malawach. Continued to at least sell a message of positivity when it comes to Malawach, saying that on schedule, the development is where we want it to be. He didn't really give any glimpses of somebody who was kind of wavering on that selection. It felt like they were comfortable with where things were at there. But I thought yesterday, Brian Gregory did a nice job of balancing there are things to celebrate here, and we can take kind of a smallish victory lap, but also understanding job's not done. Work isn't complete. Things aren't finished. I thought he balanced it really well yesterday.
Yeah, and kind of to make the joke, but they feel very aligned on, you kind of watch and read Matt Ishbia's tweet at Bill Simmons a few weeks ago, which we talked about on the program, about how he took a small victory lap and he kind of, did the enjoyment of it all, but then said, hey, we're getting back to work. We still got things to work on. We still got things we have to do. And that was a huge part of that tweet. And so it felt as if in a press conference version, Brian Gregory had a very similar feel to that, right? Like, take our small victory lap, but this thing's not over. We still got not only 27 games to play with this year, but we have 2-3 years in the future that we're looking forward to as well.
But a reminder of, we've played great for 55 games, but that's not what's going to turn this around. What's going to turn this around is doing it for the next 27, and then doing it for the 82 after that, and doing it for the 82 after that. You've laid the foundation. The groundwork has been laid here, and I think we'd all agree they've done an excellent job of that. Now it feels like you kind of move into phase 2, and that is showing that there's staying power in the foundation that you've built. And I think these 27 games, what they're able to potentially accomplish in the postseason is going to play a role in how they are perceived, right? Because I can envision a world where they struggle, right? If we take the ESPN BPI projections from yesterday's show or 2 days ago show, if they finish at 45-37, that means they'll be below 500 in the second half. They'll go 13-14 here the rest of the way, and maybe it's a quiet exit in the postseason. And now going into the summer, the narrative around the Phoenix Suns isn't of the optimism. It isn't of the 32-23 start. It isn't of the Matt Ishbia victory lap on the Suns beating their win total before the All-Star break and them winning more games than they did a year ago. The lasting image is going to be you kind of petered out in the second half. You didn't do anything in the postseason. You lost in 4 or 5 games. And, you kind of showed us that, you had a great 55 games, but you didn't have staying power. I can see that being a reality. The Phoenix Suns have to make sure it doesn't become one. And I trust everybody involved to make sure that the message stays the same of we've got work to do here. Like, I trust Brian Gregory. I trust Jordan Ott. I trust leaders like Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker to make sure that the message doesn't get lost here with 27 games to go.
Yeah, correct. It just feels very playing for the future. And I think if you were to sit back and say, well, this team either lost in the play-in, got swept in the playoffs, couldn't win a game, felt like they finished under 500, the rest of the way. You're right. It comes into the summer with you just kind of overlook all of the positive that had happened early in the year. That's why finishing strong is so big, because even, take it a few years back, the Suns got to the bubble and finished undefeated in the bubble. And then the season coming out of it feels different. You go to the NBA Finals. If you don't finish like that,
right,
everybody just remembers that you went to the bubble with kind of nothing to play for.
I remember it's such a great thing to bring up because if you remember going into the bubble, they weren't talked about, right?
And it was like it was going to take a miracle for them to make the playoffs.
But they went on that run in the bubble, and they ended up becoming the storyline. And so the lasting image you give people is how they remember you, right? It just is. Ask a Seattle Seahawks fan today if they remember some of the losses during the regular season. They don't, because the lasting image is the Super Bowl. For a lot of Patriots fans, it's hard to remember the MVP type season Drake May went on. It's hard to remember and reflect positively on a 13-win season, 14-win season, because you laid an egg in the Super Bowl, right? The lasting image matters here. And so the Phoenix Suns have 27 games to make sure, because I think if they play strong enough here in these 27 games to be a top 6 seed and to have a playoff matchup, a playoff series locked in, I don't know if it necessarily matters. As long as you don't get swept and embarrassed, I think the lasting image is going to be one of positivity. It's if you struggle, the way some of the projections say you're going to struggle, coupled with you're in the play-in tournament, coupled with maybe you don't win a game when you get to the playoffs, then it kind of all stacks on top of one another to air this kind of feeling of negativity at the end of the season.
Correct.
So these 27 games, vitally important. It gets underway tonight. They're in San Antonio for their last road game here in February before they return home. It's Orlando, it's Portland, it's Boston, it's the Lakers, and boy, you'd feel really good with how things ended going into the All-Star break, to come out of the break, to open up the unofficial second half of the season with a big win on the road against San Antonio, against a really good team. Setting the stage early is very important for this team, and so we would all kind of feel a lot better if they were able to come out of the gates on fire, come out of the gates hot, and pick up a win tonight in San Antonio. More on the Phoenix Suns as the show progresses here today. A couple ways for you to get involved with us here on the lunch break. The phone number, 480-864-1060, if you want to weigh in on the second half beginning for the Phoenix Suns tonight. Or we've got you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream, where you can watch the show and chat away and interact with us over there. When we come back, I'm starting to see this on social media, and I'm going to put a stop to it. Next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball live right here on KDUS AM 1060. This Saturday, join the Ladies Sun Devils as they defend home court against Houston. Head coach Molly Miller is more than ready to lead her team to another win this February. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's ASU versus Houston this Saturday. Pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Life can change in an instant. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can feel overwhelming. The pain, the stress, and the uncertainty of what comes next. You don't have to go through it alone. The attorneys at Sweet James understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact an accident can have. They're here to help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to under the law. When you call Sweet James, you're connecting with a team of attorneys experienced in handling serious injury cases. Their work is driven by preparation, advocacy, and a genuine commitment to helping clients seek accountability and justice. Every case is different, and outcomes depend on the specific facts involved. If you've been injured in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James for your free case review. They handle everything for you so you can focus on healing. That's the Sweet James advantage. Help available 24/7. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union series.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Jim Rome here through Rome Report. I've got the very best job in the world, and I know it. There's only one aspect of my job that I don't like, and that's having to go in on people that I really do like. But that is the job. Here's an example. UCLA head coach Mick Cronin. Love the man, but do not love him ejecting his own player, Steve Jamerson, after he committed a flagrant foul late in a blowout loss to Michigan State last night. I mean, the visual is sort of hilarious, but the decision to do so was not. Back-to-back blowout losses, and he's not reaching his players, so he took it out on one of them. Oh, and then on a reporter who he accused of asking him, quote, the worst question he's ever heard, end of quote. That's not true. Nor should he, as Tom Izzo joked, personally have upgraded Jamerson's foul to a flagrant 2. Tremendous line by Izzo, but if you're going to demand that your players keep their heads, you better practice what you preach, Mick. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join ASU Baseball this Friday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Start your weekend with ASU and the Diamond as the Sun Devils take on St. John's University. Head coach Lee Bloomquist knows what it takes to lead his team to another series opener win this season. Join Tim Healy on the call live. It's ASU versus St. John's University. Pre-game at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I don't know how many of you have seen these takes on social media. Because let's be honest, I'm probably more online than many of you that listen to this program. Right? Producer Evan and I kind of live on social media for this program to see what's going on, to read these stories, to know where we want to go on this show. Some of you probably, you listen to us, you listen to other sports talk here in town, you listen to podcasts, but maybe you're not always online seeing where the conversation is going. I'm seeing where the conversation is going when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals, and I want to put a stop to it right now here today. So maybe we make this the social clip for today, Producer Evan. Maybe we do a little pre-production meeting right now and we decide that this is the clip that goes out on social media, because I want to put a stop to a narrative and a take that is forming among Cardinals fans and some people who cover the Cardinals about what their intent is for next season. Yesterday on the show, we talked about tanking when it came to the NBA. And I'm seeing it on social media already, that the Cardinals, with the way that they built their coaching staff, with the way that they got Mike LaFleur as their head coach, with what maybe their plan is at quarterback and trading Kyler Murray, that their plan, they think the grand plan here for the Arizona Cardinals is to tank in 2026 so that they have a good pick in 2027 in a highly touted quarterback draft class so that they can get somebody that is their franchise savior, that is their quarterback of the future, that is their Patrick Mahomes, their Josh Allen, their Joe Burrow, their Lamar Jackson, their Justin Herbert, their Sam Darnold. And so they're just going to give away 2026 in order to set themselves up for 2027. I don't know where to start with how foolish of an idea that would be. And I'll give you a number of reasons why they're not actively doing that. Reason number one, do we really think the general manager of this team is going to oversee a 3-win season, a second 3-year season in which the head coach gets fired, and then what? Because let's play this out, ladies and gentlemen. If they're going to tank, how many games you want them to win next year? 2? 3 at most? So 3 of the 4 years for Monty are going to be 3 wins or fewer. And that's the guy that's going to get the pick to select a franchise quarterback in the 2027 NFL draft. Monty won't be here to make that pick in 2027 if this team loses games next year. He's lucky he's here now for 2026. So that's reason number one that you don't do it. That's reason number one why this team isn't tanking. Reason number two that you're not tanking is you just hired a brand new head coach. You just brought somebody in the door that needs to hit the ground running, or else you are destined to repeat what happened to Jonathan Gannon. You won 3 games the first year. Oh, you went 6-4 to start the next year, and then you went 5-19 your next 24 games over 2 seasons. You need to hit the ground running with a new head coach, especially one that's a first-year head coach. Because if you're going to quote-unquote tank, how do you know Mike LaFleur is the right coach for that franchise quarterback? How do you know Mike LaFleur is the right guy for you to do all this tanking when you don't know how well he can coach? If you're tanking, you're basically saying, I don't care what the results are, so I don't care how you coach. Then how do you know you have the right guy? If that's the case, if you were going to tank, you should have just kept Jonathan Gannon. And number three, what does tanking guarantee you? You're going to tank a full 17-game season? How do you even pull that off? You going to trade Josh Sweat? Because this is going to be year two for Sweat of a 4-year deal, right? So you're basically wasting that big contract that you gave out. Basically wasting the fact that you gave James Conner an extension. Wasting the fact that you gave Budda Baker an extension. Wasting the rookie windows that you have with guys like Walter Nolan and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Paris Johnson Jr., guys that you're going to have to pay if they're going to stick around. The financials don't make sense for why you tank. You don't throw away seasons, especially not for a franchise that unfortunately kind of has a history of seasons ending up being thrown in the trash anyway. It makes zero sense. So I'm putting a stop to it today. Anybody that claims that the Cardinals are and or should tank in 2026, I'm immediately disregarding them. Immediately. Their opinion, not valid to me. Because it is foolish to go down this road. Because there is no guarantee what is at the end of the rainbow. There is no guarantee what is at the end of that journey of tanking. You don't know what you have in the coach. You don't know what quarter. The Jets tried to tank at the end of the season. They traded away Sauce Gardner. They traded away Quinnen Williams to set themselves up. It's a 1-quarterback draft at the top. It was supposed to be a 3 or a 4 quarterback class at the top. Drew Aller was supposed to have a great year at Penn State and be a top 10 pick. Dante Moore was supposed to come out and be a top 5 pick. Didn't happen, right? Lenore Sellers was supposed to come out and be a first-round pick. That's not happening. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing about tanking, especially this far out to say, let's tank a whole season. Nothing about next college season and the next NFL season is guaranteed. You are not setting up your coach for success. You're not setting up whoever that next quarterback's going to be for success. You need to try. You need to put your best foot forward to actually identify whether or not you have the right head coach. I also want them to try because I want to know, do they have the right GM? Most of us, I think, are on the fence when it comes to Monty Ossenfort right now, right? At best, we're on the fence. Some of you are probably out, but at best, you're on the fence. I don't think there's a collection of Cardinals fans that think he's an actually great GM, that he's a top 5, top 10 GM in the sport. You don't know. The jury's still out. You're on the fence. Don't you want to see an offseason where they're going for it? They're trying to field a competitive winner so that you can trust if this is the right GM when you ultimately do take that quarterback high up in the first round? Because if you choose to tank, you're basically throwing an entire year down the drain. So it doesn't matter how the coach coaches. It doesn't matter what roster the GM puts together. You're just going to give up on 2026 and worry about 2027. So, okay, let's do that. Because we can actually do it. Since you're saying it doesn't matter, let's fast forward to the offseason of 2027. You have a coach that you know nothing about 1 year in. Nothing. You have a GM who, if we're tanking in 2026, we're not going to care about what roster they put together. So let's look at the previous 3 years. How's the track record of first-round picks? Because, like I said, we're tanking, so I don't care what they do with the number 3 overall pick. I don't care. Throw it out. What have you done with your other first-round picks? Where are all your day 2 hits? Where's this blossoming young roster full of young talent that you've developed, that you've cultivated, the diamonds in the rough that you found on day 3? Where are they? And that guy's going to be given the keys to drafting a franchise quarterback? I'm sorry, no thank you. Certain organizations can choose to kind of, if an injury happens, they can take that reset year, right? I'll give you the perfect example. The Kansas City Chiefs, once Patrick Mahomes went down, could afford to lose out because Andy Reid's got the cred. That Chiefs front office, they've got the bona fides. They've got the resume to say, we don't care about results now. Now we can just maximize our draft position and then be ready to go when Mahomes is healthy next year. You haven't earned that. I like Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur hasn't earned that. Monty certainly hasn't earned that. Michael Bidwell hasn't earned that because they're asking you, the people out there that are campaigning for this team to tank in 2027 are basically saying, I'm okay with another season of mediocrity. I'm okay with another season of going 0-6 in the division. I'm okay with another year of being the laughingstock of this division and being the laughingstock of the NFL. Really? That's what you want to sign up for? You want to tank when you're officially eliminated from the postseason. You want to tank when you've got a couple of games left in the year. You want to tank after you have a serious injury. Fine. We can debate whether or not you should do that, but those are fair conversations to have. To throw a full season down the drain in February, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. And also, I don't think I mentioned this at all. Do you think Monty's going to do that? He doesn't think his job is safe. So you think he's actively going to do that? I don't think so. Sorry, that got a little ranty there. I got a little heated.
It makes sense to get ranty because, in all honesty, do you honestly think that this GM could actually sit through another year of a 3-win season? Then we would be talking about, in all seriousness, the worst, after coming off the worst season in franchise history, by the way. We can talk about, and I know people in our YouTube chat never let us forget what they've done under Michael Bidwell, what this team has done in their history. You want to talk about history? You want to talk about bad? They had two of their worst seasons in franchise history under Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort. You think he could take another one?
No.
And if they do let him get through another one, it doesn't matter.
That's why they need to go after somebody like a Daniel Jones or a Malik Willis. They need a quarterback that can come in here and potentially win them some games. Buy Monty some time. And in the case of Malik Willis, if he comes in here and wins games and he's an answer, now you don't need to draft a quarterback. You've got your quarterback. How old's Malik Willis? 25? 26? You're going to have a young answer at quarterback if you're able to pull that off. So, no, I'm not going to advocate for tanking in February.
Malik Willis is 26 years old. 26. Just turned 26.
He just turned 26 years old. So if he comes here and he's your answer at quarterback and he plays well next season and you win 7 games and you go 7-10 and the future's really bright, you've got your quarterback. Who cares about where you pick? Who cares? You don't need to tank. Try to put a good product on the field. That's step number 1. You're breaking ground today on a brand new facility in 2028. You continue down this road, no one's going to care about that facility in 2028. Because you know who's not going to be here? Monty. You know who's also probably not going to be here? Mike LaFleur. You cannot advocate for tanking in February. Can't do it. Sorry. You don't have the infrastructure to advocate for it. You have a GM that's on a hot seat. You have a coach that just got here that needs to show you if he's a coach or not. I like Mike LaFleur. He's one of my top 3 candidates for the job. But you know what next year's about? Not only is it about winning, but I got to see, can LaFleur handle this job? If you're advocating for tanking, you're basically saying, I don't care about that. You need to care about it. You should care about it. Mike LaFleur has to prove to all of us he can handle this, that he on his own can craft an offense, can call plays, can run an entire organization. You're saying put all that to the side so we can tank to have a good draft pick to take a quarterback? Get your priorities in line. Sorry, I think you were going to say something and I just trampled all over you.
No, it's okay. It's actually kind of a lot to do with it, but also not at all to do with it.
Okay, what do you got?
Matt Ishbia with an awesome tweet about an hour ago.
I was going to get to this when we got to the Suns a little bit later on in the program because Matt Ishbia weighed in.
But we're talking about tanking.
Sure, you want to go ahead? You can read the tweet.
Okay, so
it's a long one, so I don't know if you want to read the whole thing.
Adam Silver said this is the most tanking he's ever seen. So Yahoo Sports ranked the team's tanking. Matt Ishbia's quote tweet of the article. This is ridiculous. Tanking is losing behavior done by losers. Purposefully losing is something nobody should want to be associated with ever. Embarrassing for the league and for organizations, and to talk about this as strategy is completely ridiculous. If you're a bad team, you get a good pick. That makes sense. But purposely shutting down players and purposely losing games is a disgrace and impacts the integrity of the whole league. This is much worse than any prop bet scandal. This is throwing games strategically. Horrible for fans that pay to watch and cheer on their team, and horrible for the real teams that are competing for playoff spots. Awful behavior that Adam Silver and the NBA will need to stop with massive changes. And I hate and I have complete confidence with this leadership he will fix it. Those of us in positions of influence need to speak out. The only strategy is doing right by the fans, players, and the NBA community.
I have never been more excited to use this drop.
The alignment.
I couldn't be more aligned with that take. And that's an owner of a team. And by the way, let's stop campaigning for tanking in the sport right now that probably has the most parity.
Yeah,
the Patriots won 3 games last year. They were in the Super Bowl.
That's what I mean. Like, we're talking about tanking.
We're talking about practice.
Like, not the game that these guys go out there and try to win, but we're gonna tank.
I'm sorry. I will not co-sign. I will not endorse a conversation of tanking in February. I could maybe wrap my brain around, hey, you're out of it. You got the E next to your name. Now we prioritize a draft pick. Now that's actually what we're playing for. Fine. I can at least wrap my head around that you played hard to when you were eliminated, and now winning games doesn't help you. It actually hurts you.
Wait, in all seriousness, when's the last time you've seen a team tank?
In football?
In the NFL.
Jacksonville and the Jets tried to trip over each other to get Trevor Lawrence that one year.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a generational prospect.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the last time I could, like...
The only other year, and, like, again, this wasn't a tank because it's the same concept, but, like, when the Colts took Luck, but, like, they went into the year, Manning got hurt in the neck surgery, and...
Now, Code over on YouTube says, tanking doesn't always come in full season form. Didn't the Suns just concede a game versus Oklahoma City at home recently? That was not tanking. Now, in fairness, because
that's a different issue.
Well, hold on. We're consistent. We didn't like that either. I did not like the Suns doing that because I thought they gave away a game they could have had. A home game against Oklahoma City when they were on the front end of a back-to-back. It's the last game before the All-Star break. We did not like their approach. We did not like that was the plan. I understood why they did it, but I didn't like it. Those fans bought tickets to see players sit, right, Matt? I mean, yes. It's a fair point.
It's a very...
Like the fans buy tickets. And again...
I can't argue.
But when you go to a Suns game, it's way more affordable, so maybe you're a little bit less inclined to be angry about players sitting.
Yeah, I think the conversation for him or his fight back to it would be, well, I've made the game more affordable.
But this is a problem.
I don't know if that's a fair argument, but he is right.
But there's 2 conversations because I think what Code is getting to is more of the load management conversation.
Which is a whole different.
Which is part of a tanking conversation, but not all teams load manage. Not everybody tanks. So I think they're 2 separate conversations. But when it comes to the NFL, no, I'm not signing on board in February before we've had a draft, before we had free agency, before we've even had an ability to gauge what Mike LaFleur is as a head coach to campaign for tanking. I'm sorry. I am not going to do it. I'm putting an end to it here today. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program if you want to weigh in on the tanking conversation. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You see us shouting out some people over there as well. When we return, the early closer candidates, they've been revealed. We shouldn't be surprised. That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join ASU baseball this Friday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Start your weekend with ASU and the Diamond as the Sun Devils take on St. John's University. Head coach Lee Bloomquist knows what it takes to lead his team to another series opener win this season. Join Tim Healy on the call live. It's ASU versus St. John's University. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour. The greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at LiveNation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and open openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
Women of Poker. Ante up for the ultimate showdown at Talking Stick Resort. The second annual National Women's Poker Championship is happening February 28th through March 1st. Bring your skills, trust your instincts, and compete for an estimated $69,000 prize pool. Find all the details at TalkingStickResort.com and register now to claim your seat at the table. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Come see us at Mark Mazda Scottsdale off the 101 in Indian School. Right now, you can receive a 1.9% APR for 60 full months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the 2026 Mazda CX-50 and CX-50 Hybrid.
Don't know what to do with your trade? We'll give you a minimum of $8,000 for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs based on the actual MSRP. And if $8,000 is a minimum, think what your good trading might be worth.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On a pre-credit plus 998.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Well, this shouldn't surprise anybody. And by the way, round of applause. Baseball's back tomorrow. Baseball back in our lives tomorrow. And it should not surprise anybody that we are learning the candidates for the closer's job for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they're the three names that you would expect Torey Lovullo to bring up. And the three names are Paul Sewald, Kevin Ginkel, and Ryan Thompson. That doesn't surprise you at all. If those are the three names that I bring up, Paul Sewald, Kevin Ginkel, Ryan Thompson, as the names that Torey Lovullo invoked when discussing who might be his closer for next season. So there you have it. There are the three guys that you're going to be looking at for the closer to at least start the year. Now, Torey did say that all 8 spots in the bullpen are wide open. I love that answer. I love saying, listen, those are the three guys I'll tell you. Those are the three guys that I think have a leg up because they've all done it before. But all 8 spots are up for grabs. You got to go out there and prove it. Nothing is guaranteed. Nobody has the resume. Nobody at this point in their career is a lock for any of these 8 spots. I like that. The Diamondbacks get underway, tomorrow? Baseball's back in our lives, so we'll start to be able to. I got the thumbs up from producer Evan that I said the right thing, so thank you for that. Baseball back in our lives tomorrow, and we'll get to see what the Diamondbacks' plan is for their closer. I knew that when I started the tanking conversation that this would open up the phones, so I'm going to go to it here. We've got Jim in Queen Creek who wants to weigh in on the tanking conversation we were having in the last segment. Jim, what do you got?
Hey, Chris, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with the text put out by Matt Ishbia and for your comments as well. And I just think about, we look at like teams that have historically not performed well or done well, win-loss record, like the Cardinals. They've, historically had high draft picks And how, like, I don't know, like what good has that really done them? I think to send the message out there to tank and do poorly, and that this, one player will somehow fix the situation. I just think that's flawed thinking. So I couldn't have agreed more with that text in your comments, and I don't know. I'm in alignment with that.
Oh, you know what, Jim? Here you go.
The alignment.
You're aligned with us. I'll give you the drop. Yeah, I mean, listen, where's it got Cleveland? Cleveland's had the number 1 overall pick. Cleveland's picked in the top 5 for basically a decade plus. Where's it gotten them? Detroit, how long have they picked inside the top 10? You know what got them over the hump? They got the right coach, they got the right GM, and they traded for Jared Goff. Sam Laporta wasn't a first-round pick. Jahmyr Gibbs was taken outside the top 10? He was taken 12 overall.
Correct.
Yeah, they drafted offensive linemen high up in the draft. They built the offensive and defensive lines. They got Aiden Hutchinson, sure. But they didn't all of a sudden become the team that they are now because they went out and tanked and got the number 1 overall pick and drafted a quarterback. They did that. They got Matt Stafford. Where did it get them? Matt Stafford had to go win a Super Bowl someplace else.
I've never been more wrong about a draft than I was about that Lions draft.
The Gibbs, Campbell, Laporta draft?
Yeah.
Where they basically just hit on everything?
Well, and it wasn't even Laporta. I liked the Laporta pick. But I remember sitting there like, the Lions are so funny. Like, they got an ounce of like, we could be good now. And they were like, we're going to take a running back at 12 and a linebacker in the first round. Like, you talk about positional value. Like, we went lowest.
And you talk about, one guy being the savior, like Jim just mentioned. Patrick Mahomes wasn't taken first overall.
No.
Lamar Jackson was picked, 32? He was picked towards the back part of the first round.
Josh Allen
wasn't the first quarterback taken in his class. Now, in fairness, the quarterback taken, I think second or third in that class won the Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold. But Baker Mayfield was taken number 1 in that class.
By the way, with not both of which, not with the organization.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Baker's on his 15 now. Sam's on his 15 now.
They were on the same team at one point. So it's not a catch-all. It's not the get-out-of-jail-free card. And you know what? If you would have had a new GM in here with Mike LaFleur, I could maybe make the case of, listen, we're going to build along the interior of our offensive line. We're going to build on our defensive line. We're going to make these wholesale changes. We're going to get a quarterback in here that can compete with Jacoby Brissett, but we're not going to go crazy, and we're going to set ourselves up for 2027 in that draft class. Okay, you're kind of tanking. It's kind of a shadow tank without actually saying it out loud. I could buy that. Monty can't afford that. Monty has to win games. So Monty's not going to tank. So if you were somebody who wants the Cardinals to tank right now, then you should have been campaigning, and maybe you were, for Monty to also be shown the door with Jonathan Gannon. But that's not the reality we live in. The reality we live in is there's a general manager on the hot seat, in charge, going to be making these selections, that's going to be doling out these dollars in free agency. And I'm sorry, I do not see a world where they try to tank and not win games next year. Also, who cares if you can't? You know what? I'll play the drop for this. Who cares?
Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to compete with San Francisco and the Rams and the Seahawks and the 49ers and all those teams next year. Sure, you're not going to be able to do that. But can you be better than you were last year? Can you put the arrow trending upward? That you need to show that you are going in the right direction, that you've got the right coach, that you've got a GM that should stick around and get another pick. You can't just waste a year and not even, because it doesn't work. This isn't Madden. You don't just tank and you get a player and the light switch goes off and all of a sudden you win 14 games. The Patriots, they took Drake May number 3 overall. They won 3 games. They didn't win games. They had to get rid of their coach. They had to bring in Mike Vrabel, and him being the coach and going out and getting players in free agency and another year of Drake May, that's what turned the corner. Not where they picked in the draft and who they picked in the draft. They had the right coach at the right time. And they took advantage of a really weak schedule that they had. It's not about where you pick in the draft. Stop destroying entire seasons for the promise of something that you can't even promise right now. I know you love Arch Manning. We have this debate all the time in the office about
I love Arch Manning.
I have no idea if he is going to be the best quarterback in the class next year.
I do.
I have no idea who's going to be the number 1 quarterback taken in next year's class. I don't know if there's going to be 5 quarterbacks worth taking. So why am I going to tank?
No, I don't get tanking. I do get that Arch Manning, wherever he goes, will be the savior. Doesn't mean you have to tank.
You as an organization can't afford it. You got a fan base that's on edge. You got a fan base that is kind of got one foot out the door. Season ticket prices are going through the roof. It's insane to try to go to a football game right now. And you're like, it's all right. We'll just lose games. Yeah, who cares? 480-864-1060 is the phone number. Listen, I've got a plan for the rest of the show. I'll field calls on this all day long if you want me to. If you want to weigh in on this, you want to tell me why I'm wrong, you want to agree with me, you want to be in alignment, I'll rip up the show rundown right now. We can do this for the next 2 hours. In the meantime, when we come back, speaking of the Cardinals, he was the only person he wanted. Will it backfire? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
When your average fan goes to an NBA game, it doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 82. Everyone healthy should be on the court getting 110% max effort. We've seen what a player like Victor Wembanyama could do to a franchise. All the greatest of the greats, when they hit the franchise, their team becomes an instant playoff team. I hate when players that are healthy are not playing in a regular season game.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
A night you don't want to miss. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. North America Tour 2026. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. An epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
The wait is over. 2027 Kia Tellurides have arrived at Mark Kia in Scottsdale. And right now, you can lease a brand new 2027 Kia Telluride for just $449 a month for 36 months with just $39.99 due at signing.
And if you're thinking about selling or trading your current vehicle, please give us a call. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 times we offer more. Don't risk losing $1,000 or more by not making that simple phone call.
The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. $0 security deposit, payment plus tax title license and the 898 doc fee. Offer expires March 2nd, 2026.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Congratulations to the Seahawks, who dominated the Patriots 29-13. Although it's an interesting way to say dominating the Patriots, because it certainly felt that way. But it was one of those games where I kept thinking, is New England going to steal this? This great defensive performance by Seattle will be wasted by a couple of plays, but give credit to Seattle. They came up with big plays when they needed to.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
It's been a pretty eventful couple of days for the Arizona Cardinals. Today, breaking ground on their brand new training facility, which should be ready to go by 2028. They did that earlier today. Yesterday, Michael LaFleur, Nathaniel Hackett met with the media, got to hear from the new OC of the Arizona Cardinals, and Michael LaFleur made it very clear to all of us there was one guy and one guy only that he wanted as the OC for his team this season, and that person was Nathaniel Hackett. Look, I don't think anything that Hackett said yesterday is going to change your mind. It certainly didn't change my mind on the uneasiness that I kind of feel about this. Hackett not having a ton of success in New York in his last go-around as an OC, not having success as a head coach in Denver, despite now him being that senior member of the staff for Mike LaFleur to lean on. I do understand the connections of Hackett being in Green Bay with LaFleur, Mike's brother, Matt, and why this all makes sense. And he's not calling plays. And some of the best years of his career as an OC was not calling plays, but just kind of orchestrating the offense throughout the week, working on the game plan, kind of leading the team through the week, but on Sundays not being the person that's calling the plays. I understand all of the reason to like it. I just don't think anything yesterday changed my mind, nor did it change your mind. But Hackett, I'll give him credit. He didn't shy away from his past failures. He didn't shy away from how it went in New York, didn't shy away from Denver, and just said that these are challenges that he needs to embrace and he needs to get better from these opportunities. And I also like that LaFleur went to bat for his guy and said, this is the only guy I wanted. This is the guy I wanted for this job. And I certainly think those connections with his brother in Green Bay played a pivotal role here, because there's a trust factor that you just have to have if you're Mike LaFleur. You got to trust the coaches that you have around you. You have to be able to give them a task and know it's going to get done and not have to micromanage them or look over their shoulder and make sure it gets done. And I think for Mike LaFleur, he's going to call the plays on Sunday, but he knows there's so much he has to do as a head coach that he needs to be able to give the task of getting the offense ready to go throughout the week to somebody that he trusts to do it the way he needs to do it. And that person is Nathaniel Hackett. Will it work? We'll see. Nathaniel Hackett said all the right things yesterday, talked about explosives, talked about being efficient, all of the things you want a modern offense to have. You got to have the big plays. It was the big knock for Drew Petzing in this Cardinals offense of the last couple of years. Where are the big plays? Where are the chunk plays that break things open? But it's that efficiency, keeping the offense ahead of schedule, keeping them out of those 3rd and longs, right? You hate to be in 3rd and 8+. Those are the things that we're going to judge Nathaniel Hackett on. So I don't know if it's going to work. I'm uneasy about that being the senior member of the staff. But Mike LaFleur, I think, deserves the opportunity to hire who he wants in these roles. He deserves an opportunity to work with those guys. And more importantly than maybe who he hired, for Mike LaFleur, it's going to be about his ability to adapt if things clearly aren't working. Right? That's the thing that did Jonathan Gannon in. The offense was not working at peak efficiency, but yet he stuck by his guy over and over and over again. And I think that's what ultimately led to Jonathan Gannon being let go, along with the results. And you can say the results were because they didn't make the changes on the offensive side of the ball. So it's maybe not as important that he hired Nathaniel Hackett. It's probably the most important thing of what he does if things go south. Will there be a blind faith, a blind trust that no matter what, he's going to be the offensive coordinator? Or if things don't work the way that they're supposed to after 1 year, will LaFleur make the changes that are required? That's the more important thing, I think, to me. Yesterday, you got the sense of this is the guy that I wanted. This is the guy, the alignment that I'm aligned with. This is the guy that's going to be able to execute what I need him to execute on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to make me more comfortable as a head coach. And there was nobody else that I wanted for this job. He said, if there's one thing you take away from me meeting with you today, it's that Nathaniel Hackett was the guy I wanted for this job. And that's going to bat for your guy. That's going to bat for your guy and saying, I'm going down with this guy. This is my OC. This is who I wanted. We'll see if it works out. So a very eventful couple of days for the Cardinals.
Very eventful couple of days. And we kind of figured, obviously, he would stand by Nathaniel Hackett. Obviously, we knew that. But it's a little refreshing to see, like, this is my guy. This is who we wanted. This is who we wanted in the building. It was very confident. And you just think back to the success he had with Matt LaFleur, and you hope you can kind of revamp that. Unfortunately, that was with the 4-time league MVP.
Yeah, we'll see what the results actually are when we get to September and the season begins. But the more important thing is if things go south. Because if things are great, things are great. If things go south, how quickly will there be change to this? And Mike LaFleur learning from the mistakes of Jonathan Gannon in the past. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We got hour number 2 coming up next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
A small commitment at least one day a week helps reduce ground level ozone pollution and helps us all breathe easier. Avoid idling, turn off your engine when waiting in pickup lines and drive-thrus. Commit to one day and help keep ozone away. Visit maricopa.gov/AQ to learn how you can help.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
It's the perfect time to refresh your home and save big at the Living Spaces President's Day event. Shop designs that update and elevate every room with cozy sofas starting at $295, dreamy queen beds from $195, and modern dining sets starting at $295. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit and get fast, free shipping as soon as next day. Celebrate in style, only at the Living Spaces President's Day event.
Living Spaces.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Low T, start for free for a limited time. Get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone gives you more energy, stamina, and it'll help you lose weight and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone now at Red Mountain Weight Loss. It's a game changer. So don't wait. If you've got low T, get started for free. Meet with a board-certified medical provider online with no waiting from the convenience of your home or office. Book today and feel like yourself again. Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone, real doctors, real results.
Right now at Mark Kia, you can lease the brand new 2027 Kia Telluride for just $449 a month or 36 months with just $39.99 due at signing.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Payment plus tax title license in 998 fee. Offer expires March 2nd, 2026.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Let's do it. Hour number 2. The lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you. You can stream us on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. You can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. That's also free. You can hang out with us over there as well. We kick off hour number 2. Hottest takes in the valley. Buy or sell.
You ready?
This is where in the script, this is where you start talking. Yeah. I set it up. Hey, buy or sell, and then it says right here, producer Evan speaks. That's
yes,
what it says.
That is what it says. After the announcement of the new indoor facility, Kenny Dillingham won't leave for at least the next decade.
Yeah, we got groundbreaking on the Arizona Cardinals' new training facility,
which is next.
That's in 2028. And then this morning, Kenny Dillingham talks about it. The renderings go out on social media, a brand new practice facility that, I'm sorry, I've seen the renderings.
I don't know how they fit it in.
I don't know how they fit it. There's into that space. There's a lot of people who are a lot smarter, and it's their expertise, design, architecture, planning things out. So I'm sure they have crossed their T's and dotted their I's. It looks really good. Kenny Dillingham's not going anywhere.
For a long time.
For a long time.
So we're going to buy.
I'm going to buy this because I don't think Kenny's going anywhere.
The Cardinals facility will make them a more attractive team for free agents.
Well, it'll certainly help, right? I mean, when you look at the now defunct NFLPA report cards because we don't do those anymore.
So sad. They're gone.
The training facility was one of the things that did the Cardinals in, but the owner was also on that list as well. And I don't think the new training facility comes with a new owner, right? Michael Bidwell still in charge?
Yes.
So it's going to help a little. But I think there is some baked in uneasiness about playing for this team when they have the track record that they have of not winning, when they have an owner who isn't got the best reputation around the sport. So it'll help, but is it going to solve all of the problems? I don't think so, no. It probably helps like 25%.
So we will sell.
But what was the take?
The Cardinals facility will make them a more attractive team for free agents.
I think it'll help a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so we'll buy.
I said 25%.
I mean, 25% is nothing.
It just doesn't solve all their problems.
I mean, they have 100 problems. How many does this solve? 25 of them?
It solves about 25 of them, yeah. Why it's 25%?
The All-Star break will give the Suns a second win for them to take advantage of as the season comes to an end.
I'm going to buy this just to be optimistic because they're going to need a second win. Let me break it out here. They went 2-4 in February before the All-Star break. So they were limping it. They limped to the All-Star break.
They can take advantage of the schedule. They do have a very favorable schedule.
A win tonight would be great.
Huge. It'd be huge.
You win tonight, I think you have a chance to rattle off 3 in a row then. And then I got to tell you, I'm already starting to circle these matchups with the Lakers, right? The 26th, they play them again on April 10th. Boy, why do I feel like that game on April 10th at LA could be for something like the 5 seed between the two teams if the Suns can play well in March. Just get that feeling that game is going to be really important.
Really important.
Yeah, they got to start fast. And I hope that the time off allowed them to get healthy, right? Grayson Allen needs to come back. You want Jalen Green to be available more often. You're not going to have Dylan Brooks tonight. We'll talk about the Suns here in a little bit. But no Dylan Brooks tonight. He's going to serve the 1-game suspension for getting his 16th technical foul. So he'll be back on Saturday when the Suns take on Orlando. But yeah, you want to start fast. You want to set the tone. You want to send a message like, okay, we got that out of our system. We struggled at the beginning of the month. Now, a reminder, February is a tough month for them. It's the 4th hardest schedule in the NBA, and it's certainly showing the signs of that with the 2-4 start. But they've got a chance here to close out on a good note. It starts tonight. And I think the All-Star break did provide them a chance to reset, recharge the batteries, and find that second wind, refill the gas tank, whatever analogy you want to use, to fuel up for the second half.
Jalen Green will play at least 20 of the last 27 games.
You've put me in an impossible spot here. Because if I buy the take and he gets hurt, I'm the jinx. If I sell the take, I'm going to be – the claims against me are going to be I'm too negative. So you've really boxed me into a corner. He's only played in 7 games this season.
He's only played
7 of 55.
Can he play?
So if I just play the math game, I should sell the take. But I don't want to be negative.
But you also don't want to jinx.
But 20 of 27 is a lot. Oh, boy. What do I do? Do I be the jinx or do I be negative? I'll be negative. Sell. He doesn't play in 20. I'm going to, you know what? It's the reverse jinx. I'm going for the reverse jinx. He proves me wrong and plays in all 27. Yeah, I mean, I think his health is going to be one of the more important storylines here in the second half, right? It's, can Devin Booker kind of take over and be an MVP for this team? I do think an underrated storyline is going to be Dylan Brooks and these technical fouls. And I do wonder if, as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, and as the playoffs draw near,
Does the pressure change the way they do things? Right? Does the pressure get to them? Does the pressure get to Jordan Knox? Does the pressure get to Dylan Brooks? Does it get to Jalen Green? Does it get to Grayson Allen? Does it get to Colin Gillespie? Because, yeah, it's just one of 82, but, boy, it's going to feel like it's worth 6 of 82 when we get towards the end of March and April and the standings and you're doing the scoreboard watching. Does the pressure get to this team? So a lot of storylines to keep an eye on, and Jalen Green's health certainly chief among them.
The D-backs will be in position to be buyers at the MLB trade deadline.
Yeah, this is the $1 million question, isn't it?
Correct.
Right? I mean, this feels like the entire season. If they can get to the trade deadline, which is in August this year, and they can be in a position to buy.
It's a really late trade deadline. I'll look up the exact date, but it feels late.
I believe it is August 3rd. I believe you're going to tell me it's August 3rd. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's August 1st.
August 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. local.
Me and Rob Manfred.
The alignment.
That's a long way away, though. Like, August 3rd is... How many seasons are we going to go through between now and the trade deadline for the Diamondbacks?
I mean, like, honestly.
We're going to go through, 3 seasons with this team before we get to August.
So let's just average it out. Here, I'm going to do some math here for you. Are you ready?
Are you breaking out the trademark lunch break calculator?
This is just me doing good old-fashioned counting.
That worries me a little bit.
So let's just call this, that's 7. It's another 6.
I'm a huge nerd.
It's another 6, 12, 19. Then we got another 6. There's 25. I mean, this is pretty efficient here.
Yeah, you're really making some entertaining radio right now.
6, there's
listening
31.
to you just shout numbers into the ether.
6, there's 37.
Yeah, okay.
5, there's...
That's 42.
42. They're going to hit the deadline with roughly 50 games.
So they're going to play 112
before they hit a trade deadline.
Yeah. That's a lot of games. We're going to know a lot about this team.
They're going to forget that. They're going to have to be a team that makes the trade in July.
I don't think they're going to be. That's really late in the season. And I just don't know.
August 3rd is crazy late.
I just keep going back to what can they do over the first 3 months of the season? Like, what can they get off to a better start than probably anybody will predict without Corbin Burns, without Lourdes Gurriel, without AJ Puck, without Justin Martinez, and the gauntlet of a schedule that they run to start the year? Can they somehow find a way to do better than you expect? And then as they start to get healthy, I think the snowball will turn into, the avalanche, right? In an avalanche of positive momentum. And they'll just, the return of all these players will just infuse energy into the team. But you got to be able to play good enough baseball to make those things count, to make them matter. And so talking about August and getting these guys back, it's really these first 2 or 3 months. And I just don't know. I want to start seeing some spring training games. I want to know who's closing games for this team. I'll sell the take.
This one's so random. Cam Ward will be a Pro Bowler in year 2.
I mean, everyone's a Pro Bowler these days, right? We got Shedeur Sanders as a Pro Bowler.
I couldn't say all pro because I just, like in the AFC, like.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's going to go to Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Jackson. It's going to go to one of those 6, maybe Drake May.
Even if he's great, I don't know if he'll be better than those 7.
Cam Ward be a Pro Bowler next year. Sure, why not? Bye.
I
mean, this is not one of those takes that, if I get it wrong, I'll be super upset about. I'm buying in on my guy.
That's your guy.
That's my guy. Cam Ward's my guy.
Yesterday was the best day for hockey in a decade. 3 overtime Olympic matches. Canada.
How are the U.S. women doing?
That gold medal match is at, was that at 1 or noon?
Canada's up 1-0 in the second.
We gotta put that on.
Well, I'll put that on for you during the break.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was a pretty good day. I think tomorrow will also be pretty good because tomorrow is one step away from the gold medal game, and everyone's going to be watching to see if we can actually get the Canada-USA gold medal game that everyone wants. So, yeah, I mean, 2 overtime wins. Canada made the big comeback in the third period, down 3-2.
Sweden ties it up to send it to overtime before Quinn Hughes.
Right. Sweden ties it up with 2 minutes to go, less than that.
Yeah.
And then Quinn Hughes wins it in overtime for the U.S. Yeah, it was a pretty good day
yesterday. If I'm remembering right, Sweden was up 2-0 in their game. The Finns came back, scored 2 in the third, and then 1.
Not the Swedes, the Swiss.
What did I say?
You said the Swedes.
Yeah, sorry, the Swiss were up 2-0.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the Swedes, but the Swiss were up 2-0 in their game.
Big comeback.
And Finland came up 2 in the third, and then 1 in the overtime.
It was a good day of hockey yesterday, for sure.
It was the 3-on-3 overtime, by the way. Crazy. And if all 3 of those games would have gone past the 10 minutes, which 3-on-3 for 10 minutes, somebody's going to score. But if it goes past it, it's a shootout.
What a disgrace that would have been.
What a disgrace.
If you in the group stage want to play 3-on-3 and then go to a shootout, fine. We get to the knockout stage, we need to play traditional 5-on-5 overtime. And if we're there until 4 o'clock in the morning,
then we're there
until 4 o'clock in the morning. Right. We'll figure it out.
That's all I got for you.
There you have it. Another edition of Buy or Sell. But yeah, the U.S. and Canada both in action tomorrow in the semifinals for the men's hockey. And like I mentioned, Canada up 1-0 over Team USA in the women's gold medal match for women's hockey. When we come back, your phone calls always welcome. 480-864-1060 if you want to weigh in on our tanking conversation that we were having in hour number 1 of the show. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Who is the most important player for the Suns as their unofficial second half gets underway tonight? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
NAU men's basketball action right here on KDUS AM 1060. This Saturday evening, join the Lumberjacks as they hit the road to take on Northern Colorado. Head coach Shane Burkhardt is more than ready to show off his team's talents on the road and earn his team another win. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus Northern Colorado this Saturday. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. and tip-off at 6 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. I made a lot of poor decisions in my past that had lifelong consequences. After I was released from prison for the last time in 2014, I discovered the process to have my convictions dismissed and all of my rights restored, including my Second Amendment rights. Since achieving this for myself in 2018, our attorney has assisted over 3,000 others in doing the same. If you are still living under the consequences of past mistakes and would like to restore your rights as I have, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com and book a free consultation today.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
On the farm, the day begins early, like before the rooster crows, when the sun is still struggling to rise. We're up, milking our cows, feeding them a well-balanced meal, and making sure none wandered off to see if the grass was greener someplace else. We work hard so you can start your day the right way. Real milk from farm to fridge in 48 hours. Arizona dairy farmers don't wait to have morning coffee before we get started, because we know you need milk for yours.
Dedication. It's undeniably dairy. A message from the Arizona milk producers.
Jumbo Shrimp is back at Del Taco. One bite of Del's Jumbo Shrimp Taco, and yeah, you're on a whole different level of flavor. Top tier, no notes. Crispy golden shrimp, crunchy cabbage, fresh house-made pico de gallo, and savory secret sauce. All wrapped up in a warm flour tortilla with a fresh-cut lime wedge. And right now, get 2 for just $6. They're only here for a limited time, so level up with 2 crispy jumbo shrimp tacos for $6. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price and participation may vary.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Stop me if you've heard this before. The NBA has a tanking problem. The league has spent years trying to discourage it, and none of it's worked. Every season, teams find a loophole. This year, it's the Wizards and the Jazz leading the way. Washington's approach is at least honest in its dishonesty. The Wizards traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis, two all-star level talents with no real intention of letting them play. Injuries are the explanation. Even if the timing feels convenient, losses are the priority. Utah's version, more creative. The Jazz are pretending to compete. They brought in Jaren Jackson Jr. along with Lauri Markkanen, and you would think those guys playing meaningful minutes through 3 quarters would be enough, but then they get benched. The players are active, so technically it's not tanking. In reality, it's a fancy way of trying to manipulate a winnable game and turn it into a loss. And until the NBA finds a real solution, franchises will not stop tanking. They'll just keep getting more creative about how to lose. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Goodyear tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan. See their Goodyear test results, tire ratings, and reviews. Be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously, from their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Taste the Heartland difference.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Seriously hoping we get to break out the red Sharpie on the show tomorrow because the Phoenix Suns are back in action tonight. On the road in San Antonio, technically Austin. I can understand how that could be confusing. They'll be playing San Antonio in Austin on the road. So it's technically a road game for both teams, even though it's really a home game for San Antonio. A little awkward. San Antonio out of their own building because of the rodeo. And so they're in Austin, 6:30 tonight. The Suns will take on the Spurs in what will be a very good test to see if the break was much needed for the Phoenix Suns to recharge their batteries. But as we continue to look big picture at the 27 games that remain for the Phoenix Suns, I want to try to pin down who the most important player for this team is in the second half. I think I have an answer that isn't going to be one of the more popular answers. Because I think anytime you ask a question like this, you default to the leader of the team. You default to the superstar of the team. And that naturally lends itself for us to have a Devin Booker conversation. But I don't actually think Devin Booker is the most important player for the Suns in the second half. And I mean that because you basically know what you're going to get from Devin Booker. And I mean that in a good way. You know what you're going to get from him every single night he shows up to the arena. The standard is pretty high for Devin. He's going to be an MVP, top 25 player in the game every night. He's going to be the guy who can hit those big shots down the stretch that you need. And you know where that can get you as a team. But I don't think it's the most important player on the team. Our guy John over on YouTube throwing out Grayson Allen, who should be back tonight. No, it's not Grayson Allen, although I could see how you get there. Producer Evan, any name that you want to throw into the mix before I share my name? And knowing you, we tend to think very similarly, and you don't know the name that I'm going to suggest. So we may have the same name.
I think it's Jalen Green.
Jalen Green, yeah, it's Jalen Green. Yeah.
I figured it'd be the same name.
Yeah, it's Jalen Green for me.
And the reason why Jalen Green is the most important player for the Suns in the second half is not because they need him in order to win a bunch of these 27 games and to be better than the 7 seed and to get themselves into a top 5 seed. They don't need Jalen Green to do that because they've done a pretty good job without him of being right there in that conversation. And I think they have enough talent to be able to do it on their own. The reason why Jalen Green is the most important player for me in the second half for the Phoenix Suns is that if he is healthy, let's use producer Evan's buy or sell from earlier this hour. Let's say he's healthy for 20 of the 27 games. What's the new ceiling then for the Phoenix Suns? Huh? That's why he's the most important player to me. Because what new level can the Phoenix Suns unlock if Jalen Green is consistently available? What does that version of the Phoenix Suns look like? I can't answer that right now because I don't actually know. I have an idea based on the 7 games that he's played, but I don't actually know what that version of the Phoenix Suns looks like over an extended sample of the final 27 games of the season. And that's why he's the most important Sun. Because if he's healthy, if he's available, all of a sudden, maybe being the 5 seed or the 4 seed doesn't seem that out of reach. Maybe it doesn't seem that far-fetched to think that the Suns can be better than 13 and 14, can be the 17 and 10 or better that we think they're going to need to be to get to 49 wins to be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. Maybe the sky all of a sudden becomes we can have that first-round upset in the postseason. We can actually be a surprise team that gets to that 12.5% of the time that we're a team in the conference semifinals. We're one of the final 4 teams in the Western Conference. Maybe it's Jalen Green that unlocks that. Because I know what this Phoenix Suns team looks like when they have Devin Booker, when they have Dylan Brooks, when they have Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal and Colin Gillespie and Mark Williams. I know what that version of the Suns looks like. I don't know what the version with Jalen Green playing every single night looks like. I just don't. And Jalen Green not only can answer that question, and it could be a new ceiling for this team, but also somebody who's healthy, like Jalen Green, who certainly is going to have a lot in the tank. It's going to have a lot of reserve in that gas tank because he's only played a handful of games in the first half. Could be exactly the spark plug that this team needs for the 27 games that they have remaining. So that's my answer. It's Jalen Green. Not because I think they need him in order to be successful over these final 27 games, because I don't think they need him. I think they've proven that through the first 55 or the 48 that they've played without him. But Jalen Green, the most important player to me for the Phoenix Suns in the second half in terms of what could be for this team. We talk about getting to the next level, unlocking a new ceiling, changing the expectations. Jalen Green might be the key to all of that. The ceiling of this team may dramatically change if Jalen Green is available, healthy, playing every single night for this squad. To the point where you don't worry about games in San Antonio anymore. You don't worry about them playing Minnesota, Denver. You feel like you've got a chance in every one of these games because you reach a new level because Jalen Green is healthy. And it allows you to even up the score a little bit in the talent department. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most here in the second half is can Jalen Green stay healthy enough to be the impact player that I think he can be to get this team to the next level? Because I actually think Jalen Green unlocks another level for this basketball team, which is saying something considering the level they're at right now was probably the highest level we thought they could get to before the season started. And I just think Jordan not having Jalen Green more available to him unlocks a different way that this team can play. Probably frees them up to relax a little bit. And so that starts tonight. Will we break out the red Sharpie on tomorrow's program? That's the question. We haven't had the ability to do it in a while. Tomorrow will be our first chance. I've got the yellow highlighter today instead of the red Sharpie. I leave the red Sharpie in the office unless it's the day where we use it on the program. So will we be able to break out the red Sharpie at a victory? And can the Phoenix Suns start this second half off on a good note? We'll see. Certainly would like it to be a positive start to the second half for this team. With 27 games to go, we think they need 17 wins to feel really good about being a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. Can you get the first of those 17 tonight in San Antonio? 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today Make sure you download the free KDUS AM 1060 app so you can take us with you on the go. You also have your chance to win a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. I don't know if they're up there right now. They will be up at some point this week. You'll also have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Renaissance Festival. So we got a bunch of stuff for you on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. So make sure you download that and hang out with us on the free KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel where you can watch the show as well. When we come back, how much pressure is on Torey Lovullo? Talk about that next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball live right here on KDUS AM 1060. This Saturday, join the Ladies Sun Devils as they defend home court against Houston. Head coach Molly Miller is more than ready to lead her team to another win this February. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's ASU versus Houston this Saturday. Pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-9000000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results. Sometimes the great ones just keep getting greater. 7-time Grammy winner Gladys Knight has rolled out hit after hit over her illustrious career. Don't miss Gladys Knight Saturday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. Brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents, rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Everything is priced to sell at Tim Hovic's Santan Ford. F-150s, Broncos, Mustangs, Explorers, SUVs, trucks, and EVs. If it's on the lot, it's priced to move. All month long during our President's Day event, everything is thousands off MSRP with simple, transparent pricing for everyone. No gimmicks, no games, no haggling, just straightforward deals. That's why more people choose Santan Ford, because our pricing will not be beat. Hurry in for the best selection during the President's Day event at Tim Hovic's Santan Ford. Online at santanford.com. Going on now. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for detail.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 29th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. Visit now through March 29th. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Join ASU baseball this Friday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Start your weekend with ASU and the Diamond as the Sun Devils take on St. John's University. Head coach Lee Bloomquist knows what it takes to lead his team to another series opener win this season. Join Tim Healy on the call live. It's ASU versus St. John's University. Free game at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Before we get to the Diamondbacks, updated Suns injury report. Dwayne Rankin putting this out on social media. Grayson Allen questionable for tonight's game against San Antonio. No Cole Anthony. He's not with the team. No Dylan Brooks. He's out with the suspension. And no Haywood Highsmith, as he is still out with that right knee injury management. So potentially Grayson Allen listed as questionable for tonight's contest in Austin against the San Antonio Spurs. Spring training right around the corner, literally right around the corner. And I want to talk about Torey Lovullo and the pressure that he is potentially facing this season. He does not have a contract after the 2026 season. So he enters this year, I guess you can say, on the hot seat just from that principle alone, because at the end of the year, he doesn't have a deal. He'll need to play, manage well enough, get enough results to get a new deal, or he'll be going someplace else. And I wonder if there is actual pressure on Torey to get off to a good start, because I don't know if the Diamondbacks will make a move in season. I don't know if a managerial change in the middle of the year is something that Mike Hazen would do. We know that Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo are very close. They have a great relationship. They have stuck by each other through a lot. And I do believe there is so much trust built up between the two of them and there's a mutual respect between the two of them that I don't think an in-season firing would happen. I tend to think that if things started to go off the rails, unless it's an absolute catastrophe, they would just let the season finish out and decide not to bring him back and conduct a search for a new manager. But I then, on the other side, think back to last year. And I think back to the Ketel Marte situation after the trade deadline. And I remember sitting in this chair and talking about it with producer Evan, going, if he's lost the clubhouse, if he's lost the guys in the locker room, then it's over. He's not going to be able to come back. Like, you have to make a change. You have to go with a different direction at manager. And so we were very close last year, I think, to the house of cards tumbling to where Torey could have gone. Now, credit to him. I think he saved it. I think he has such great relationships with the guys in that room that they were able to band together as a group and play well enough to make the last part of the season matter and manage almost into the postseason. I mean, producer Evan, when did they get eliminated from the playoffs? What was it, the middle of September?
No, it was later than that. I want to say, like, with mathematically, maybe 4 days left this season. Yeah, if not the last series, right before it. I mean,
they were alive until the last possible second, right? And that's a credit to the manager keeping that team together. And so, on the one hand, it was almost a house of cards where it tumbled and he was gone. On the other hand, he saved it to where they were actually mathematically alive at the end of the season. And so that's where I wonder how much pressure is there on him this season.
The D-backs got eliminated from the playoffs on September 26th. Season ended September 28th.
So with
last series of the year.
So with 3 days to go, the last series of the year, right? Because the last series of the year was between the Reds and the Mets.
Yeah, correct. So the Reds sealed the win over the Mets, and we lost to San Diego, and that was it.
So it was with 3 days to go in the regular season. So we use the term pressure, right? And in this case, it would be getting fired at some point during the year. I don't think that's on the table. Even if they have a disastrous 2 months, are they going to make an in-season change at manager? You can just make somebody the interim and then conduct a search in the offseason? I don't think you're going to do that. I think you're just going to let this whole thing play out. Now, if pressure means what's it going to take to get a new contract, then yeah, there's pressure on Torey to get a new deal. And I do think if they get off to a good start, what you'll see is exactly what you saw in 2023, where they got off to a good start. They played well. They gave him the 1 year extension, right? So he wasn't a lame duck manager. And then they made the World Series run. And then after that, they added a couple more years to the deal that runs now through the end of this season. That's what happened. He was a lame duck manager at the end inside of 23. They got off to a good start. He got a 1 year extension that took him through 24. And then at the end of the World Series run, they added 2 more years to the deal that allows his deal to run through the end of this season. Now we stand here in 2026, potentially reliving 2023. That's what I think is going to happen. I think if they get off to a good start, they'll give him the extension. If they don't get off to a good start, it'll just be counting down the days until they just don't renew his contract and they move in a different direction. Is it bad that it's hard for me to kind of envision a world where Mike Hazen's the GM and Torey Lovullo is not the manager? They're just so connected at the hip that it's hard to envision them not being together.
It really is. It's because they feel like a package deal because of just everything that's kind of happened and everything that's going on. They feel like certainly a package deal.
But if you don't get the results this year, I think
you have to move on.
I think they'll move on, but they won't do it in season. I don't think an in-season move happens. I think there's too much mutual respect.
How bad would it have to be?
I mean, it would have to be you're trending to be the worst team in baseball history. You have to be.
I think if you're the worst team in baseball, they fire him.
Right. I think if you're the Colorado Rockies of last year, and
I think if they lose 100 games, you would fire him. You're on pace to lose 100 games.
I don't think they're going to be that bad.
I don't either.
So
but I think if that was the case.
Yeah, I think that's where you start to entertain. We try to do something middle of the season. But I just think there's so much mutual respect. There's so much admiration between the two that I don't think Mike would want to do that to Torey Lovullo.
I tend to agree.
And so you use the term pressure. I don't think there's pressure in that regard because I don't think they're going to play bad enough for an in-season move. And so the pressure is, can I play well enough to get a 1-year extension? Can we play well enough? Can we get the results so that I can get a 2-year extension? Because I think Torey's going to get the whole year. Except for a downright abysmal season that I don't think's in the cards. As negative as I am about the bullpen, as concerned as I am about the lineup, I don't think they're going to be that bad.
And I'm negative about the bullpen. I tend to believe I think they're going to be worse than you think they are.
But even then,
I still don't see them winning 60 games. Could see this team, in all seriousness, going 70-92. See this team going 72-90. And under that record, he doesn't get fired. This team has so many what ifs out there.
Sure.
That it becomes, well, this team could win 90 games, this team could win 70 games. And it's whether you buy into, in all seriousness, you need to find 1 to 2 guys in the bullpen that you didn't think were going to be a solid option, be a solid option. You need probably 3 of Carlos Santana, Nolan Arenado, Ryan Waldschmidt. Who else? Who else are some of your question marks? Oh, Jordan Lawler. You need 2 or 3 of those guys to pan out and be really good at the plate.
What's interesting that you said there is that they could win 70 games, they could win 90 games. In both of those scenarios or anything in between, Torey is managing this team in September.
Correct.
And I think if they fall short of a 500 record, then I think they decide, hey, we're not going to renew your contract. We're going to move on. And that's it. There's just a kind of a quiet goodbye, and the Diamondbacks are bringing in a new manager. I think for those that are so done with Torey that they want him done if they have a losing streak to start the year where they lose 9 of 10, I'm sorry, that's not happening.
I don't think that's real. I also understand why you're done with Torey. Like that.
No.
I get it.
Fair, I get it, but I just don't think with the way the Diamondbacks have done things and the relationship that Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo have, I just don't see that happening. Again, unless they are on pace to be the worst team in baseball history. And even then, we're getting until Memorial Day.
Correct.
So, and by Memorial Day, I think we're going to know if this team is going to be able to be in that 70 to 90 range and they've got a chance if they get hot and they get the pieces back, or we'll know if they're on pace to be one of the worst teams in baseball history. And I'm sorry, as negative as I am about certain pieces of this team, maybe not negative, concerned, right? I'm concerned about the bullpen. I just think there's enough talent there. Like we did this earlier in the week. They've got 4 players that are probably top 10 at their position.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be good enough for you to be a 70-win baseball team.
You would assume so. The problem is, and I mean this,
because they've got the starters.
29th or 30th in bullpen.
With what we think they're going to get from these guys, yes.
They had 4 players at the top 10 at their positions last year.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I hear you. I think, but they also didn't lose 56 games. They also didn't win 56 games last year. They won well more than that, right?
Yeah.
So
listen, they're going to have to lose lose 100 games for him to get fired.
Well, tomorrow, 1:10, Diamondbacks, Rockies. Salt River Field.
We'll get our first answer.
Well, we won't.
Well,
hold on. We won't. We'll have to talk about it on Monday. They play at 1:10. They play after we're done tomorrow.
That's true. They also start at the same time as USA Hockey. So
attention's going to be maybe
choose which one you would like to watch.
Well, I think USA Hockey gets the TV, and I think Diamondback Spring Training gets the tab. I think that's only fair.
Right.
You watch it, but you put it on the tab. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join ASU baseball this Friday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Start your weekend with ASU and the Diamond as the Sun Devils take on St. John's University. Head coach Lee Bloomquist knows what it takes to lead his team to another series opener win this season. Join Tim Healy on the call live. It's ASU versus St. John's University. Pre-game at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It's been 2 seasons on We Fixed It, You're Welcome, and we're still just getting started.
I think we've identified very clearly that there are major issues here.
The problem is the rebrand backfired. People were confused.
No apologies. The door hits you on the way out. Fired on the spot. Companies, culture, chaos. If it's broken, we're going to fix it. That's my fix this time around.
I like that idea. I love that.
Catch up before season 3, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We Fixed It, You're Welcome.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Let's talk letters, starting with C. C is for Camry and Corolla. C is for comfort, control, and cruising through everyday valley life. Now let's try another one. T. T is for Tundra and Tacoma. T is for tough, thrilling, and taking on whatever the day throws your way. Different letters, different strengths, but they both spell out the same thing, Toyota. Right now, get 4.99% for 72 months on the new 2026 Camry or Corolla, or get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months on the 2025 Tacoma SR5 or 2026 Tundra. See your Valley Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. 4.99% financing with $1,610 per thousand borrowed for 72 months. 2.99% financing with $1,519 per thousand borrowed for 72 months. Zero down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and N3226. See dealer for details.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
What are we going to talk about to close up the program here today, Producer Evan? It is the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. What do we got?
Well, I figured I'd start and let everybody know USA women's hockey still down 1-0 in the gold medal match against Canada. That is heading into the third period. So coming down to the wire. Bleacher Report made an all-time list yesterday.
This, the way you set this up, am I going to be as angry at this as I was where the Cardinals?
No, this is my favorite list of all time.
Go ahead.
99, ranking the top 99 quarterbacks in NFL history.
Oh my gosh.
This is what Bleacher Report did with their time.
Why 99?
I don't know.
Why not 100?
I don't know. 99. Would you like to guess who number 99 is?
No, I don't want to guess who number 99 is.
Ryan Tannehill. But that's what this list is. And I get it. One-time Pro Bowler, one-time comeback player of the year.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that they think Ryan Tannehill is the 99th best quarterback of all time?
Yeah.
No, come on. I don't want to do this because we don't have enough
Number
time.
98, Danny White.
You're telling me we can't name 99 quarterbacks better than Ryan Tannehill?
So I have started yesterday after I read this, and I was so excited to bring it to you in the leftovers because I came home and my roommate was like, hey, you got to check out Bleacher Report right now. Like, they released this an hour ago.
You're not even producing the leftovers. You've got your roommate producing the leftovers.
No, he wanted me to make a list. So I've started my list. Bleacher Report, you could probably guess the top 5 pretty easily.
Tom Brady,
number 1.
Joe Montana,
number 2.
Peyton Manning,
number 3.
Patrick Mahomes,
number 4.
John Elway.
Nope. Elway 6.
Dan Marino.
Nope.
Brett Favre.
Nope. Stay there, though.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Going to pick a Green Bay quarterback.
6 Elway, 7 Favre, 8 Breeze, 9 Young, 10 Marino. That's the top 10. But then we get into some old names. Otto Graham here.
We got Ryan Tannehill, number 99.
Terry Bradshaw, 15. Ben Roethlisberger, 16. I got to say this. I'm taking Big Ben over Terry, I think.
So we do top 5 lists here on the program. We don't have enough time for you to do a top 99 list.
Kurt Warner in the top 20. There's our first Cardinal.
I mean, if Ryan Tannehill's on the list, Carson Palmer's on the list.
You'd have to imagine.
You have to imagine.
The thing about, I guess, because Palmer, Lamar Jackson at 28. Maybe we could do this.
I don't want. No, I don't. No, I don't.
At 32.
I don't want
Namath at 33.
No, I don't want to, because you know what I think most of the
Allen
listeners are saying right now.
Who cares?
That's what I think. That's what
Randall,
I think
Randall Cunningham, 39, greatest quarterback of all time. That feels a little high, especially because he's over Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan won an MVP. Donovan at 42.
Can we move on to another story? I don't want the entire leftovers to be a breakdown of this top 99.
What?
No, I don't. Uninterested.
I think it's awesome.
You lost me when Ryan Tannehill was quarterback number 99. That was when I was out.
Do you want me to give you my list?
No,
I don't.
No, okay. I don't want that either.
Okay. 4 teams.
If you want to do a top 5 at some point with HMs, maybe we save that for a rainy day when we've got nothing to talk about.
ESPN wrote a story.
But I don't want your top 99 now.
Trade offers for AJ.
Does anybody want your top 99? Please. 480-864-1060 or chat away with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream.
I guarantee
you want his list?
I guarantee you Brian wants me to come in with 99 quarterbacks.
I guarantee you picked the wrong person. I guarantee you Brian wants you to do that the least.
Code wants 99 quarterbacks.
Code sounds like somebody who would have your back and would want you to do the list, yes.
All right. Trade offers for Eagles, AJ Brown. This is 4 potential teams that are making a list. Is an article written by
Bleacher Report.
No, ESPN, Jeremy Fowler. Cleveland. The Eagles get a 2026 first round pick.
I got to tell you.
Browns get AJ Brown.
Out of all the places to send AJ Brown, if they send him to Cleveland, you thought it was bad that he was reading a book on the sideline in Philadelphia. What's that going to look like in Cleveland?
The Buffalo Bills, a 2026 first round pick. The Bills get AJ Brown.
So I'm sensing a theme here in the trade package.
No, he could get different here. The Baltimore Ravens offer a 2027 second round pick, a 2027 fourth round pick that could be a conditional third rounder, and wide receiver Rashad Bateman.
So Bateman and 2 27 picks, not even 2 picks in 26.
Correct.
They would not do that. Philadelphia would not sign on board for that.
No. The Eagles, the New England Patriots, the Eagles get a 2026 first round pick, the 2026 third round pick, and a 2026 sixth round pick.
See, if you're the Patriots, you got a lot of stuff to address.
And the Patriots get A.J. Brown and a second-round pick.
If you're the Patriots, right, you went to the Super Bowl. You're probably a little ahead of schedule. You got a young quarterback on a rookie deal. You've got a ton of cap space this offseason. And you've got needs, right? You need an edge rusher. You need to figure out what you're doing with the left side of your offensive line. You need another wide receiver. So you might want to get aggressive, but I wonder if it's the right thing to just stay and pick a young receiver with their pick. Or to try to trade up and get somebody.
So. I think it is.
Like, try to trade up to the mid-teens. Like, they pick, what, 31?
31, yeah.
Can I get to, like, 17 or 18?
It's a shame they don't pick 32nd, but I couldn't block anyway.
Can I pick 17 or 18? Can I move up 13 spots and get a young receiver instead of A.J. Brown? I know it's A.J. Brown, but I think I'd much rather do that.
Yeah.
Because I think when you break glass and you just decide, I'm just going to trade for all these superstars, I'm going to use all this money, like, you can kind of create some problems for yourself.
Certainly.
Because if you get it all wrong,
then you're really wrong.
There's no way out of the financial mess.
Yeah, you're out.
Right? Maintain your flexibility.
And the way to maintain your flexibility is to draft.
Yes. So I don't know if I'd give up a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. Now, you want to take a 2 for him, and I still keep my first-round pick? Now I'm interested in A.J. Brown.
I think that's very fair. I think it's very fair. Walker Buehler signs with the Padres.
Now, real quick, if I'm the Bills, I trade the first for A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Because I have more urgency than I think the Patriots do.
Yeah, because I'm not in year 2 of Josh.
Right. I'm in year
8.
Yeah, and I need to find a win in a hurry. Sorry, Walker Buehler signed with the Padres?
Yeah.
That's annoying because I like Walker Buehler.
Oh, why is that annoying? Did you like him as a Philly? You don't like the Padres?
I like Walker Buehler as a Dodger.
I was going to say, what team did you like him on?
I like Walker Buehler as a Dodger. He was a good pitcher.
He's a Dodger, and then he was a Philly.
Right, but I can enjoy.
Yeah, I guess he was a Red Sox.
enjoy pitchers.
He was a terrible Red Sox. Was he not the worst Red Sox?
So I will tell you that the Mets played the Red Sox last year in a Walker Buehler start, and he got ejected from the game in the 3rd inning.
That's right.
For arguing balls and strikes. So that was my memory last year of Walker Buehler against the Mets. That's right.
Your guy, Walker Buehler.
And the Mets lost that game, I think. He got ejected in the 3rd inning, and they still lost. The Red Sox had to go to their bullpen early.
Wait, when did they – I guess it was before the deadline because he got cut and then picked up, right?
So it was obviously it was before he got cut. I don't remember. I think it was May. It was either May or June. But I think it was May when the Mets played the Red Sox and that happened. Because it was in Fenway.
Yeah, no, I can picture him getting thrown out. I can picture it in my head. Cooper Flagg, by the way, they sold his NBA debut jersey.
Okay.
Sold for $1 million buckaroos.
Only $1 million?
That's what you thought? He hasn't done anything.
Hasn't done anything. A guy drops like 35 a night on the regular.
Like he doesn't have a championship or an MVP.
I understand
or
that, but he's a number 1 overall pick. It's like a top 20 player in the sport already. For a Dallas team that stinks.
He hasn't
out loud.
He hasn't done anything. In Joe Lenardi's latest bracketology.
Yes.
ASU not in it. But we didn't even talk about this yesterday. They upset Texas Tech.
You wanted to open the show with it yesterday.
I did.
You made a case for it to be the daily special, and then I said, all right.
Well, we were sitting there without a daily special for a minute.
And I said, well, then what do you want to talk about from the game? You're like, I don't know, I didn't watch it. I said, okay, so then it's not the daily special. If we can't have a back and forth about the game, then it can't be the daily special.
In fairness, you also said you did not watch it.
Because you know what? I'm done with the ASU basketball season. It's over. Bobby Hurley said that it's over, so it's over.
But they beat Texas Tech. I don't even know what Texas Tech was. Like, they could have been the 17.
They were 16, 17?
16, 17,
I think.
Remember, they were 7th in the country when we beat them in football.
That's right. So
Texas Tech hates Tempe.
So ASU greater than signed Texas Tech is what I'm learning from all this.
Yeah, That's hate the Tempe.
Takeaway.
Don't come to Tempe.
Unless you're coming to see the brand new practice facility.
In which case, get over here because they're jamming it in there. No parking down there in Tempe.
Yeah,
don't go to the games. If you do, take the light rail because there will be no parking.
Get rid of it all. What a fun way to end the Thursday edition of the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you missed anything, you can always check us out in the podcast feed or watch the show back on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS